don't have an intro for this many people on the podcast, so sorry.
Not too many cooks. Not that you're not going.
No,
okay.
look, I can't.
Okay, that's 6 weeks old.
I can't like
I know it's 6 weeks old.
reuse the same intro. That would just be childish.
Okay.
It would. I agree.
Okay.
I feel like my intros would fit it though.
All right, do an intro.
No, I can't because I already did mine where I was the Easter Bunny, and you were Santa Claus,
Right?
And you were St. Patrick.
And he was Charles Whitman.
But that's
But I
not
wasn't
a
here
holiday.
before.
I mean,
How was I Charles Whitman?
none of the
if I
others
wasn't here
are
before?
holidays either. They're characters.
He has his own day.
Yeah, but St. Patrick's Day is the holiday. St. Patrick is the patron of the holiday.
Well, technically, he's not the patron of the holiday. The holiday was named
Whatever.
after him.
It's all the same stuff. My name is Andrew. I am the host of this madness. Joining me this week is Travis.
Ice-T, and I am in the passenger seat. Shotgun.
Shotgun's lap. Chris. Chris is here.
I ride on the roof.
Nice. Mike is here. First time on this podcast.
Hi.
Is that it? Just hi?
Just hi.
All right.
Long
Alex
time
is
listener.
back.
I'm Tail Gunner with a itchy trigger finger.
That's fair. I'll allow that. And Abby is here.
I'm the backseat driver, and Mike is actually in the trunk.
Well, damn.
I don't know.
So
Reasons why he hasn't returned in a while.
Well, that was the reason why he was so quiet and just said hi. It's because he had to shout out from the trunk.
We're actually emanating from this car that we're talking about.
If you listen closely, you can hear the wind.
we are emanating from this car, so like we're expanding. Like,
Yes.
No, the podcast is expanding.
oh, okay.
In time.
I see.
Because, see,
It's still being
Well,
recorded.
it's certainly
going,
not
yeah.
expanding in views.
Because Travis is no longer editing it.
Chris, please. No, why? Why do you do this to me? I'm all depressed. Sucks.
It's unfortunate. God damn it.
Welp.
We had this discussion. Didn't you have a flip phone before this? Like before break?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Totally did.
Didn't you have an Android before this?
Yeah, but then the battery, you might just want to turn it off.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't keep...
That was my alarm. I have to go to class.
He's,
Oh,
Oh.
he's jettisoning.
All right, well,
Oh.
Oh.
and
I
he
lied.
is launching
Okay.
himself from the car onto the speeding...
Onto the guy behind us.
onto the guy behind us.
All right, let's start the podcast over and just pretend Alex wasn't in it.
all right. Or let's just keep going and like...
Farewell.
Let's just keep going, but censor any reference to Alex at all. just feel like a censor people.
So it'll be like Soviet Russia.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome.
Or
All the
1984,
news we think you need to
Which
know.
was based off of Soviet Russia.
among some other things.
Oh, good. He closed it.
The nerve of that guy to come in here and then just leave immediately, honestly.
British people.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't have closed the doors.
Well, so he has more manners than you.
So should we actually
Doesn't
start
take
over or
much.
just say screw it, keep going?
I think we can
No,
just...
we already established that he leapt out of the car
Alright.
onto the highway onto the car behind us that was traveling along the highway.
Wait,
Can we take Mike out of the trunk and put him in the gunner seat, or?
No, he doesn't have an itchy finger.
All right, that's fair.
I think Alex took the gun with him.
Oh,
I just made a
It's
visual.
not fair.
I just
No,
made a
it's
visual
not.
demonstration and then remembered that we don't have a camera. So you know,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to have a
Yeah.
go me.
vidcast. But,
Get used
too
to
late
it.
now. We already started.
we'll do it another day when I do my makeup.
Yeah. Do
I'll
you
confirm.
makeup often? Or?
I do.
Oh, okay.
So
It's hard to look this good.
Why'd you skip
That's why I'm on a
today,
podcast.
then?
No. Why'd you skip today then? If you do it often?
Because I just had such a busy day.
Oh,
I
okay.
just, it's
I
hard to
did
keep up.
notice that you weren't as beautiful
I
as
know.
usual.
You're supposed to say I look good no matter how I am. Especially just like when I roll out of bed in the morning. I just look naturally beautiful.
I feel like it's probably not true.
Well, you might be
look great.
naturally beautiful, but even natural resources are refined to be something useful.
All right, he's caught on to rule number 4.
Get wrecked!
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
better than any burn you've
That
had yet,
was-
Chris. You better
well
step up your game.
That's because I mostly just threatened to stab you.
All right, so
So we're censoring that out. So
yeah, absolutely, big long censor beat there.
Oh man.
What
Kidding, that was beautiful.
what did you guys bring to talk about?
Not Mike.
No.
He's out of this
To be
podcast.
fair,
Okay, bye.
he's sort of
Yes, door. Make sure you close on the way out.
he's not being serious. You can stay for as long as you want.
You can even stay here after the
Andrew, you can go
podcast is
too.
over. if
But just
you
leave your
choose.
equipment.
And then I can
my
wonder
computer.
where all my friends went.
So, Andrew, I know you've been itching. Can you please tell us some of your fantastic stories?
Yeah. So I mentioned this on the last episode like 4 weeks ago. Should we mention why we didn't record for 4 weeks, or just?
Yeah, because Chris sucks.
Christmas!
No,
Or just
Chris.
forget.
Chris sucks, not Christmas.
it's
I mean, really, it's more than I
I
suck. Really.
responded to your damn email.
I feel like as the host, I should be the one to organize this. But then I was like, I want to take a break from recording the podcast, so that I just didn't organize it.
Yeah, there we go. It's
So,
all
I
Andrew's
mean-
fault.
So like I
get
said,
behind
Chris
this.
sucks.
I take the blame. But
I
yeah,
hate that bell.
the bells are back.
The bells.
We
man.
still have 5 minutes before the bells go off.
Yeah.
Actually, that clock is slow.
They'll probably go off again in another 5 minutes. Wouldn't surprise me.
That clock is slow. According to my watch, we have 1 minute.
Point still stands.
Yeah. Right? What difference does that make?
4
All right.
minutes.
So, for most of December, I was down in Louisiana visiting my mother, which she greatly enjoyed. She,
You didn't?
well, you know, it was
Because
okay.
Xbox wasn't there, let's be real.
Yeah. Dude, the Halo 5 beta was out and I didn't get to play it until like,
The
last night.
clamber saved my butt so many times in multiplayer. I love the clamber.
We'll
God
talk about
bless
it in a
the
little bit.
clamber. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you eat any crawdads or anything?
No,
'Cause that's what
no
they do
Crawdaunts.
in-
How
No.
about craw mums?
No. Craw moms either. I don't really like seafood, so that's probably why.
Well, then you were in the wrong state, my
But-
friend.
I know, right? It's a
not-
real problem.
It's not from the sea. They get them from the bayou. It's totally different.
It's freshwater. Is it?
Or brackish. Could be
Well,
both.
Mostly
it doesn't have
brackish.
salt in it, so.
Okay, but so I got this story during my travels. I got a couple stories actually. The first was going through security in Houghton. I had a bit of an incident.
Right after I dropped you off?
No, not. I mean, it was going through security, like the actual process of going through security.
How rigid is security in Houghton? Or will we find
Oh,
out?
they're pretty. They have nothing better to do, so
Yeah,
they
right.
take their job seriously.
Exactly.
Just like the people at the Secretary of State here, there is no getting by.
But so, you know, I'm going through. You put all your stuff on the conveyor belt, and they take it through the imaging, thing, whatever. Go through the metal detector, no problems. All my stuff is going back through the metal or the imager, and except my backpack. And I'm like, oh god, here we go. So they take my backpack aside, and one of the TSA guys was like, yeah, meet me at the table. I'm like, oh god.
In that
Jesus.
voice?
That might be a little bit fabricated for dramatic effect.
Can you please describe what this guy looked like?
He was probably like 6 feet tall, white with a goatee. I don't know.
I meant like his build. Like,
Oh.
did he look terrifying? I don't.
No.
Or
I
is
don't-
he skinny like you?
I mean, he was probably thicker than me, but I mean, that's not
I
saying
think that
much.
describes everybody on
Yeah,
this.
right? He wasn't as intimidating as it was making him
Oh,
sound. That was for
okay.
dramatic effect.
So I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking like the Rock said, "Get over here, boy."
That would,
rock bottom you through this table.
that'd be a better story.
Yeah, it would. That'd be
So
fantastic.
Dwayne Johnson pulled you aside.
Yeah, so he pulled me aside. And,
Literally pulled you aside.
yeah, no, he was like dragging my head.
Like you were a little 4-year-old boy and
Yeah.
your daddy he's pulling you along.
So I go over to this table because they're they're going to search my backpack, and at this point I'm thinking, oh god, I know exactly what they're looking for, because as I was packing, I was like,
There's a gun in there.
this is probably going to look really suspicious, but I kind of have to bring this. So he's going through my backpack. I'm just standing there like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Because like I've never had people like search my bag before. So he's going through it. He's going through like the 50 different electronic devices and all the wires and stuff I have in there. Cause I got a lot of electronics. And he pulls out my Snowball microphone. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I explain to him what it is? Or, and he's just like looking it over in his hand and kind of looking at it like
You better take a
questioningly.
picture so people can know what you're talking about.
I'll just put a link to the Snowball.
That works too.
And so I go, it's a microphone. And he's like, he keeps like looking at it a little bit. He goes, good enough for me. Puts it back in the bag and hands it to me. I'm like, thank you, sir.
good enough. I never. There's like
said.
2 people or 3 people in this world that I do not want to hear from. The first is Doctor. I don't want to hear good enough. 2 is a TSA. I can't imagine the third, but I bet there is a third.
It's probably not a bomb.
Exactly.
Good enough for me.
But like as I was packing it, I was like, this is not going to look good. They're going to think there's something in that.
It's a microphone.
Yeah, it's a microphone.
Close enough.
But yeah, so it wasn't a problem. And then I took my
I really
backpack.
want to know what would have happened if you said, it's a bomb on a stand.
I know, right? It's like, what would I do? Like,
You'd probably get tackled and like shocked.
Can I,
and-
like-
Tased and then pepper sprayed.
would they let me take my computer out and prove to them that it's a recording device?
No,
Like,
because then you could
Claim it's not yours.
that's true.
Claim it's not yours.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how they got there.
they'd probably start beating you with a nightstick.
Good enough. Oh my god. That's
And,
terrifying.
No, claim that you're testing a statistical theory because statistics say that there will not be 2 people on the same plane with a bomb.
Perfect.
Therefore, you're keeping yourself alive by bringing your own.
Definitely one way to go.
No, I think that would get you killed.
You should say like, it's like a mobile Geiger counter or something radioactive. So
And,
they don't
and
touch
you should
it.
have picked up and went.
Yeah, so I was like, I felt like I needed to bring it because we had plans to record podcasts
But
like,
then
over
Chris
break,
happened.
and then we just ended
I
up
was
not.
available.
Alternatively, I was thinking maybe I'd make a new video for my YouTube channel. Good joke. And neither of those things happened, but still need to bring my microphone. Going back, like the airport in Monroe that I flew into, yeah, they didn't care at all, so they just let me go.
It's probably because you as a person don't look suspicious.
Could be.
Like when I'm in an airport, I'm always the person who's quote-unquote
Randomly checked.
randomly selected to see if I have bomb residue on my hands.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think I've only gone through TSA once, and I was literally freaking out so much that the lady had to say, "Calm down, sir." I think I was freaking her out because I'm like
Being
putting it
really,
in those little bins.
being really nervous about it's like the worst thing you could do.
I always get dirty looks from security officers.
This is like my
Yeah.
first
Who
time
don't you
doing
get
it.
dirty looks from?
Andrew, right now.
Because we're best friends.
Are we?
I don't know, are we?
Probably not.
F is for
I
friends
forgot
who
rule
do
4.
stuff together.
I forgot Rule 4 was directed at Travis, not everyone else.
Rule 6 is everyone
Rule
else.
6 is everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, what else happened? The rest of the travel was really pretty uneventful. Other than I got through Chicago twice without any delays, so that's good. Apparently,
That's the definition of uneventful.
yeah. Like, apparently that's really impressive. Like, my sister was telling me every time she went through Chicago, she got delayed.
No,
like,
it is
every
impressive,
single time.
but by definition, it's uneventful.
Yeah. It's now the 4th time I've gone through Chicago by myself without any delays, so...
So you didn't need any crawdads. Did you
No.
eat an alligator?
I did not eat an alligator.
I have had alligator tail before.
Is it...
Alligator sausage is nice.
I haven't had alligator sausage, but I swear, I'm not. It tastes like chicken. It tastes. The texture was different, but it tasted like chicken.
Most reptiles do.
How many have you tried? I'm curious.
All of them.
Secret.
Every
All
single
of them.
species of reptile.
Well, during those cold Michigan winter nights, my parents would just throw me out into the wild, and I'd have to fend for myself.
Where
So
are you
you
finding
found-
reptiles?
Thank you.
They're cold-blooded.
He dug up their pathetic little graves and ate them.
Under rocks? I mean,
No, you went to the pet stores.
He searched really thoroughly.
I think you'll have to go south a couple states to find any in the wild.
I can walk.
We have
a
snakes
long
here.
way.
Oh my
Once in a
gosh!
while.
Did I tell you guys about the horrors I subjected my 9th grade English teacher to?
Probably
No,
not.
but this sounds like a fantastic story.
You made them eat snakes?
No, I didn't. So, okay. Ninth grade, one of our first writing assignments was to write a paragraph on how to do something. And my thought was, well, in middle school, I was like I was a cadet for a science teacher, so I helped feed her snakes. I helped feed her turtle, keep the tarantulas place clean. I fed the tarantulas, all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, well, I did a demonstration in 8th grade about how to feed a pet snake. I'll just write about that. So I wrote.
I like where this is going.
I wrote out, and it was longhand. Like, it wasn't typing up. I was just writing it out, handing it in. And there was, and the day we got our papers back, it was actually hobo day at school. Which meant that, you dressed like
a Spirit Week type thing?
Your
Yeah, it was a
school
Spirit
had
Week.
a hobo day.
It did have a hobo day.
Mine had several, so.
And so I dressed up, in like grungy clothes, and I decided, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I stuck plastic cockroaches in my on parts of my
Terribly
clothes.
offensive. But keep going.
I know it is.
The hobos are going to be so mad at you right now.
I know
All
it
the
is.
hobos listening to this.
Yeah,
20
I'm not
viewers.
saying it wasn't offensive, but one of the
Wow.
things...
Wait, hang on. Chris insulting the viewers, man. That's my job. All right, go ahead.
And one of the things I did was stuck a couple of plastic snakes in my pocket. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I just did. And so, I get to my English class, and I'm sitting down, and Mrs. P is at the front of the class with all our papers back, and she's talking about, how she was actually really impressed, because we were honors English class, and she was how she was really impressed with all of our writing. We all did a really great job, and man, I'm just so glad to have you guys in my class, except for you, Abby.
Wow.
Very direct.
Harsh words.
And she said, I could not read yours. And I'm like, okay, well, I know my handwriting sucks, but do I have to say that my handwriting sucks in front of the entire class? But she didn't stop there. She said, I had to have my husband read this. I am deathly afraid of snakes. And so I'm just kind of sitting in my seat, and I slowly just kind of shove my hand into my pocket to shove this plastic snakes out of sight. And I say, I'll never write about snakes again, Mrs. P.
That was the wrong course of action. You should have taken them out of your pocket and thrown them at her.
Next paper that we had to write was a descriptive paragraph. And, describe a place. And at that point, I was dead set on being a paleontologist. And so I decided that, and my parents probably let me read the Jurassic Park novels at a slight too young of age, because I decided I would describe a Tyrannosaurus Rex nest based on what I had read and, read in the Jurassic Park books and seen in the movies. And it's not a sanitary place. It's full of, death and decay and carcasses and whatnot. And so I used that, and I used colorful language to describe it as...
So this was very, very morbid by the time
So
you're
you
done
were
with it.
not a normal child, is what you're saying.
No, I wasn't. And I hand that in, and I get so every time I get a paperback from Mrs. P, it's always kind of got this look on her face as she does so.
That sound. That was pretty descriptive.
And it got to a point where it stopped just being because I liked it. I liked reptiles, I liked dinosaurs, I liked sharks, but it became less about I'm writing about this because I like it and more about I'm writing about this because I get a rise out of my teacher. And my magnum opus was, for this class,
Oh, jeez.
was you had to do a presentation on a visual presentation on a controversial hero. I chose
Squirrel Girl?
No.
Yes.
Super controversial.
I chose Rodney Fox. He's an Australian who is a great white shark attack survivor who has, become an advocate for protecting great whites.
What's a superpower?
Not being
that.
killed by a great white
Yeah.
shark.
And,
Pretty decent power, really. When you think about it.
and I threw all my creative powers into this PowerPoint. Including, the first slide that I had, it was, a picture of, a scuba diver. And it was on, a big screen in a dark room.
Right.
And, the first thing is, calm waves and, small text show up and it says, imagine you're out in the middle of the ocean, you're spear fishing, all is calm, and then it automatically cuts to, this gaping mouth of Christ. And just all this stuff. And I made sure to show pictures of Rodney Fox's, scars and just...
Wow.
I was a horrible...
So I'm
Horrible
pretty
child.
sure
Very
this
cruel.
falls under harassment.
It
Abby.
might.
was. It did. I wrote her an apology, actually, years later, saying, Mrs. B, this happened, I apologize for everything except for the snake paragraph, because, like, the snake paragraph was legitimately just me trying to finish the assignment. Everything else was mean, but...
See, I always liked Hobo Day in high school because I could just walk in my normal clothes and get points.
The costume days at our high school, we had, like, a pirate day.
Oh, that was popular in our place, too.
And I pride myself on my ability to just make a costume out of whatever the fuck I happen to find lying around.
Oh, good thing we had a little split tag.
Say whatever
There
we
we
want.
go.
That's exactly why I put it on.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad I was the first one to bring it up this time. You're the first one to drop that bomb.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
It's alright.
I know.
All right.
But, so, for Pirate Day, I decided, wait, I'm not wearing anything.
What?
Anything?
What?
All right. Well, I mean, pirates were probably nude at some point, right? I mean,
I'm not
They
wearing
don't
anything.
shower, so.
I'm currently not wearing anything piratey. And the person who tallies everyone who's wearing pirate stuff is in my first class period. So I've got 10 minutes to come up with something. So what I did was I took a piece of tape, a little bit of string, and I popped the lens out of my aviators and made an eye patch.
that's incredible.
It was one of the lenses from a pair of aviators just hanging in front of my eye.
You couldn't, like...
And it counted as an eye patch for the purpose of...
You couldn't
Points.
make the smartass argument and be like, no, I'm a music pirate.
Yeah, right? Digital piracy.
You wouldn't download a pirate.
So I got another story from Louisiana. It's a little bit sensitive, so I don't know. I think it's funny, but I don't know how other people are gonna take it.
Did you punch puppies too?
No.
Oh.
It's a story about racism.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, here we go.
So the story requires a little bit of setup here.
Oh, here we go.
All right. It's not me being racist.
Okay.
If that makes it feel better.
That does
Really?
make me feel a little better.
Of all the people, you think really Andrew's going to be any way confrontational with any individual on this planet?
That is true.
I'm confrontational with you quite a bit.
But everything
Well, that's because
else,
he's
you're
not
like,
a person.
Oh, right. All right. So Christmas Eve, my mom has a coworker who invites her and, by proxy me, to go to this service at the church that they go to. And really, I think it's the dude's wife, not really him. And now, I'm not a very religious person, so I was kind of like...
You heathen.
I was super uncomfortable being there.
I'm not that religious either, but if we want to burn him for it...
Wow.
Sorry, continue.
And then it ended up actually being okay, because they
purging
basically... Less than, like, a religious service, it was more like a Christmas concert. Like, they had, like, a band there, and they were just playing Christmas songs the whole time. So I was like, okay, this is okay. But so afterwards, so my mom's coworker, his wife, and his 2 kids came over, and we had dinner at my mom's house. And we had pizza, which was delicious. The classical Christmas dinner. Pizza.
Oh.
That's so racist.
We had pizza rolls for my family.
Nice.
That's what we did.
But so after dinner... people are just like talking or whatever, and I don't remember how the subject actually came up because I'm forgetful. But at some point, we got onto the topic of African American hair, like people and their habits with their hair, and they were talking about how African Americans can't like wash their hair every single day because
It's actually a thing.
they said it'll like fall out or something. I don't
Well,
know
no,
exactly.
just, like, their scalp gets really dry.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. But in
They
their
don't have all the oils like we do. Like how our hair gets really greasy.
And
Like-
gross, yeah.
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 Doesn't happen.
But so they were talking about this in a very negative way. First of all, because they were like, "Oh, their hair smells so bad because they can't wash it every day or whatever." And first of all, I'm like, do you really get close enough to your friends to smell their hair? Like,
you didn't shower today, did you?
like I have several
Here, Chris,
African,
let's check.
I have several African American friends up here, and like I've never noticed it like ever. So
I've never asked to sniff their head.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Like,
I haven't
it's so
asked
bizarre.
to sniff anyone's head.
I mean, Because they don't have the oily stuff, wouldn't it be more clean?
It is, but
Dude, I
obviously
have
they
no
didn't know
idea.
about that. So
Yeah,
they probably
insane.
didn't. It was an uneducated viewpoint.
So
Very.
So that's like the first part of the racism, right? Like the fact that we even got onto this topic to begin with. The second part, so the kids were a son who I think was a senior in high school, and then they had a daughter who was a freshman in high school. The son says, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here because I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, "That's why I only make friends with the lighter-skinned ones, because their hair smells better."
That's
Oh!
pretty
Are you
awful.
serious?
That
You're-
is- oh.
You're a guest in somebody else's house, and this is what you're gonna say? Like, it blew my mind.
And what year is it? Seriously?
He said he was a. Right?
Well, this is Louisiana.
Yeah. But still, it's like,
Still.
oh my god. I should have, I sort of just like,
You
sat
should've
there
just
with my,
drop kicked him
I should've.
out a window into a trash can,
I sort of just
rolling
sat there
down the hill.
I just sort of sat there with my head in my hands like, are you serious, dude? Are you gonna say that? I should have just like left, like actually made some kind of statement about it, but,
Oh no. You would have been lynched.
what like, oh, you don't agree with me? Screw you.
Where do you go in Louisiana anyway? All there is the bayou, and you already said you don't like crawdads.
His mom.
Yeah.
Remember? He went to go visit his mother.
But
His family, his blood.
Wasn't he at the party with his mother, though?
Yeah, but it was at my mom's house.
Oh.
You can't really leave the house you're staying
I was-
in
I mean, I was-
unless she wants to go live in the bayou, which
was
obviously
gonna-
doesn't want to.
When I said leave, I meant like go upstairs to my room or something. Like,
Oh.
leave,
Slam
leave
the door
group.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like,
You have a tantrum.
Like, show your disgust with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Show your absolute.
Start playing like Jay-Z
I-
really
Yeah,
loud.
disgusting.
I can't. Yeah, but I was trying to find like a really aggressive descriptive word. And I just couldn't.
Repulsion?
Just show your absolute repulsion with these people among you.
and what made it even worse is that everybody else started like laughing. I'm like, what? Like, why?
Oh my god.
I'm not.
Including your mother?
She chuckled a little bit.
Oh, was it like
She-
was it a sympathy chuckle?
Maybe she kind of gave me like a sideways glance, like, she wasn't really comfortable with that.
It wasn't like a, why ain't you laughing, boy?
I don't think so. And I don't. Maybe
I
I'm
think his mom has
misinterpreting.
a southern accent, by the way, as well.
She's only been there for like a year or 2 years, so probably not. Because I don't know, because I wasn't just there for like 3 weeks, so maybe he meant it as like a joke or something, but it definitely did not come off that way, and I was shocked to my core.
Oh, that's pretty deep for Mach7 Podcast.
I know, right?
Ouch.
Why'd you share that
It's
story?
insane. I thought it was funny.
Now I feel horrible. Like I can't even follow that up with any funny stories now.
I think it's a funny.
Follow up with a funny story.
I
Andrew.
think it's funny that guy is such an idiot that you would say that.
There we go. There we go.
Really? Because that just kind of makes me lose hope for things.
I know, right? God, that family was obnoxious too. It was like the coworker and his wife and my mom were like having conversations, and then like me and the kids were having a conversation, but it was like at the same time, and then the kids started trying to talk over the parents, and it was a whole mess. Being part of a podcast, it hurt me inside to hear people talk over each other so much.
That is something frustrating. That's not something that my family, like my immediate family, usually does.
Yeah.
But like I've been with other people, and like for some people, it's just the way that their family communicates.
Yeah, that's
Where-
what
where-
it seemed like.
No.
I mean, for them,
oh
maybe.
gosh, no, the talking over.
Oh,
I am glad to say I have never been to a holiday gathering where someone has been racist. Oh my gosh, no. But like that, like there was one. I was at a friend's house for a family, like for a holiday, and like I was astounded by the fact that like their family would talk over each other, and the way that you got your thoughts across was you just talked louder.
Right.
And I'm like, is this how you guys operate? And like, it was okay for them because clearly people were heard, they were interacting, they were loving each other in this manner. But for me, it was just like, I'm going to go hide in the corner.
Right.
Okay, let me know when it quiets down.
Like that's why I like being part of like smaller groups instead of being in big crowds,
Mhm.
because there's like one conversation going on rather than 50. It just really bothers me. The dude seemed so cool too before he said that. He was talking about how he had just bought Battlefront 2 and he was super excited about that. And I'm like, cool, dude.
What, Battlefront 2?
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront.
For the original Xbox?
Yeah.
Hey, man, whatever. I bought a couple of games, too. I just bought Morrowind, so...
I'm not sure if he got it for the original Xbox. He might have got it for PC, too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it
it's on
was
Steam.
it was on sale.
Yeah.
Over the at some
maybe.
point over this break.
PC Master Race.
Can on a weird topic of like gaming and racism.
All right.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
This ought to be good.
I
Awful segue.
yeah, I've been on like a couple of Halo forums and like Halo conversations where I've actually seen people arguing and people get mad that Agent Locke is a black character.
Oh my god, why?
I don't know. They're like one of the things like people are like, oh, I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't such a publicity stunt. I'm like,
Does it really matter? The
I
guy's
like-
a badass.
I know.
A publicity stunt would be if every person in the cast was black and they mentioned every three lines how black they were.
yeah.
Or you mean like the show
Have I
Black...
mentioned that I'm black today?
And it was just, oh my gosh, it was so like. But what made me happy, what gave me hope, was that these couple people posted this. And then the rest of, like, the Halo fandom that I interacted with came swarming and was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, no, this is great representation. Locke's awesome. I'm excited about this. Look at all this, like, things that's going to happen, blah, blah. But it was just for those few small posts, it was like,
Why?
no, please, we're just getting over Gamergate. Do we need to drag this up? Like,
Of course we do.
oh my gosh.
They're on the,
We have to have something to argue about.
We have to have something to make the gaming community seem like complete jerks.
they're on the internet. They have
Well,
nothing better
I
to
mean,
do.
it's because a lot of the gaming community is complete jerks. But
Right.
just look at Travis.
What?
I had
Every
my
few
Love
minutes,
you,
huh?
Chris.
I know.
I had my first Xbox over on the Halo 5 beta. I actually had my first Xbox Live like conversation, and like the one time I played.
Oh, that's right. You don't do live.
Yeah, so I got the free trial thingies.
Yeah.
And so my first free trial was way back, I don't know when, but like I was just doing Halo 4, just for fun, because also I wanted to get some Spartan Ops in. And I went online to a multiplayer and like I had my headphones on, I was considering like talking with these people, but I've heard so many horror stories and seen like so many posts about women just getting trashed
Yup.
on Xbox
Oh,
Live,
yeah.
That
getting
can happen.
dick pics, getting like harassments, threats, like, you know, basically saying like if you do one thing wrong, you're suddenly like, you know, just like all women suck at gaming. If
Yeah.
you suck at gaming.
Right.
And like, you know, getting quizzed on, oh, are you a Halo fan? Well, explain this portion of the lore. Like
Like they have to prove that
Well,
you're
what
actually.
you do is
play games.
See, I've never heard that part. I just heard, so you're a girl. Well, tell me about your anatomy. That's all I've heard when it
oh
comes
my
to
gosh,
that gaming.
there are times where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of this, and it's like, oh, you're just doing that to get guys to like you. Oh, you're really a fan of this. Well, explain to me this, that, and the other thing. Why is this?
You see, what I
Oh.
don't get there is why would somebody go towards geek culture to be popular in gaming?
I know,
Right? Like,
I know.
You get a lot of attention.
You're
you get a lot of
you're
attention.
just kind of you're trying, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
No, if you play
they
Xbox
get-
Live,
they
you understand
get-
that's a lot of that's how it works. If you're a female voice on there, you get a lot of
Well,
attention.
Yeah, well, people might, but a lot of it is them giving you shit for it. Like,
Yeah.
It's like it's not the right
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
attention.
that is the way to get attention because you'll be like a total asshat towards them.
Yeah,
but,
but the thing is sometimes that's considered like, oh, I'm complimenting your body, I'm showing your attention. You should be grateful because I am deigning
Yeah.
to show your ugly self attention. It is really weird. It's kind of the same thing about how catcalling women on the street is okay and, you know, it's not offensive and it doesn't make women feel threatened because they should be grateful that we are noticing your anatomy.
I don't get
So I got
cameras.
Metro over the Christmas break.
nice segue.
Anyway, I'm sorry. There was a happy ending to that story.
Oh, good.
Oh, wait. Oh,
The
okay,
first
okay.
conversation I actually had on Xbox Live was Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer beta, and I just finished up this this match in which this one guy on the opposite team, his entire team ditched him, but he stuck on. He stayed through until the end of the match, and so at the end of it, he was kind of going, "Man, that was really rough. That was really rough." I'm like, "Oh well, I can have a conversation with him." So I ended up digging out my headphones, which I never use, and plugging them in, and it got to a point where it was me, some guy from Illinois, this guy who had been ditched by his team from like UK.
Oh, but your
from the
rejects
UK.
got together.
from the UK and someone from Scotland, and we just had
Scotland.
we just had a
So you're really
fun-
scraping the bottom of the barrel. All right.
I was.
Jesus.
It was
Wait,
an international.
This podcast is so
Isn't
offensive.
Scotland part of the UK?
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm
No.
geography.
Well,
Yeah, Scotland
Yes, it is. It is. All right.
Well, for now.
yeah.
Scotland's
Anyways,
been trying to get independence.
these people.
But they voted it down.
Yeah.
So they're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, well.
Some of them have been trying to get
Yeah,
into that.
So anyways, like, just these 4 guys, like, including me, I guess 4 people.
You consider yourself a guy then?
A gender neutral term.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
2015, Travis, please.
but yeah,
I mean, just like dude
I
is a
normally
gender
refer
neutral
to
term
people
now.
as people,
Yeah.
but I guess we can refer to them as
You
guys.
never say, like, you guys?
No, I say you people.
oh,
That's almost
true,
worse.
you do.
What do you mean, you people?
Or y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I use, but it's neither here nor
My roommates were watching
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder earlier today. So.
I never seen it.
So it was just these 3 guys, and I just had a nice conversation. Just like, oh, where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, how's the weather up there? Oh, hey, this map is great. Oh, I suck at this map. Hey, I really like this weapon. Man, Clamber is awesome. Man, have you seen this movie?
See, man again. What is with these gender-neutral terms, man?
No.
Northern
I
things.
don't know.
What is with these gender neutral terms, man?
Yeah,
Man is also now a gender neutral term.
Yeah.
that's what.
We're all men.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're men. We're men in tights.
So, yeah, just shout out to those 3 guys for making my first Xbox Live conversation a fun and welcoming one. So,
I refuse
thank
to
you guys.
believe that there was a fun and welcoming conversation on the internet.
I think you're dreaming.
So, speaking of the question, how's the weather up there? Which,
Wait, what?
she mentioned that.
Yeah, I
Snow.
Which, is a question I get pretty often, because of my height. And it's hilarious every time.
How tall are you?
6'9".
Oh, wow.
So,
It's discriminatory.
it is.
He's
Just
basically
people.
Sasquatch minus the hair and the mask.
I was going to say Spartan, but okay.
Yeah.
Also still minus the mask.
He's kind of like a Wendigo
Yeah, man, shout out. So,
to ourselves.
yeah. Dude, you don't ever shout yourself out? I do it all the time.
No.
By repeating
Yeah,
jokes.
iced tea!
Okay, so after the church service that we went to on Christmas Eve, this guy, I don't really know who he was, but he's a guy like in the town that pretty much everybody knew. My mom calls him the mayor, but I don't think he's actually the mayor. So we're like,
There's a backstory behind there. I hate to tell you, buddy, but
Oh my god!
no,
Travis!
my turn.
Oh, gosh, no!
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
the backstory is
That
just
was,
she thinks that everybody knows him.
everybody knows him.
But so
Or knows about him.
we're like the group of us are all like standing out in the lobby, and he comes by, and they're like talking like, "Oh, Merry Christmas" or whatever.
Merry Christmas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Come on.
Barb, no. The worst pun ever.
That was pretty horrible.
I don't care. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
So
Continue.
he looks at me, and we're like making introductions or whatever. I'm wearing I have this like golf like polo shirt that I wear that has a Michigan Tech logo on it. I see him glounce.
No, keep with it. I like that word.
Had a
That's
stroke.
good word.
He glanced down at it, glances back up to me, and he asks, "How's the weather up there?" So, being me, trying to ignore, try to not. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. I say, "Oh, terrible," because I see him look at the Michigan Tech thing. I assume he's talking about up there as in Michigan.
Oh, no.
And, it's terrible here. But if he meant, if he was making a joke like, "Oh, you're so tall, how's the weather up there?" and I say terrible, doesn't that just make me look like a depressed person?
Yes.
Like I'm just super unhappy about everything.
And
Never
what was
found-
his response? Don't.
He didn't really make one. He just sort of went and
Well,
talked to everyone else.
if they're like, oh,
scared
well,
him.
why is that? You're just like, well, there's winds that take it down to negative 15 here, so you would walk outside and die because you're weak.
It's true. They had like
It's always fun to insult Southern people about winter.
there was
Oh,
there
my
was
gosh.
like one of the days the weather was supposed to be like 19 degrees and like sleet or something, and the entire town just like shut down.
Well, that's
Dude,
understandable.
that's like-
And then
T-shirts
it didn't.
are
And then it didn't happen.
It's understandable,
But the
though,
town was still shut down
because
so.
they don't have like the plows or the salt or anything like that. So
Yeah.
can you imagine the road staying completely iced over all the time
That
without
is a
salt
good
or
point, yeah.
ice?
Like,
I mean, salt or snow,
sand.
sand. Dang nabbit.
Glounce.
Clouds.
Like, I think it was Houston, Texas, has one snowplow. It's for the airport.
Yeah. There was, in terms of making fun of people who live in the South about snow,
Chris.
back in 2012.
I like how you pointed at Chris.
Well, Chris was-
as far as making fun of.
Chris was the one
people
who
in the
mentioned it.
Actually, I did.
Oh, Mike, sorry. Mike was the one
I was
who
Chris.
the one who called them weed.
I was in a conference down in Urbana.
Where is Urbana?
It's
Sounds like someone from Mexico.
it's below Missouri.
Is it urban?
It's below Iowa. What's below Iowa? Missouri is Missouri. No.
Yes.
I don't even
Sure.
know
Yes.
where Iowa
Ma-
is.
Geography.
Yes. It's Missouri is the one below Iowa.
Okay.
I thought it was that everyone in Iowa is miserable.
Anyway, okay, it was somewhere
Good
below
joke.
southern Minnesota. We had to drive through Iowa to get there.
Iowa, 56,000 square miles of bland.
I'm just gonna put a link like to a picture of the United States in the link dump because clearly we don't know it.
My
No,
degree.
I know how the United States is laid out. I can do.
In my defense, I spent 4 years studying physics. That's enough to shove geography out of my head.
That's fair.
So, anyways, down there we there's some snow because it's over like Christmas break, and there's some snow that's going on, and it's this massive conference, and there are people from. It's an international conference, so there are people from everywhere, and people from like the southern states, and they get like about an inch. And when I say an inch of snow, I mean it's the inch that piles up around like the lampposts and stuff, where
Yeah.
it melts everywhere else.
Of course.
And so there's this massive announcement at like one of the major meetings for the conference, and they're like, everyone stay safe because it's snowy out there. And for those of you down south, up here in the north, we call this snow. And like everybody
Wow.
laughed, and then I turned to like a couple friends of mine who are from Michigan Tech, and I say, from up in the north, we call this the South.
It's true.
And we walk outside, and there are actually people gathered around those light posts with like the snow, and they're taking pictures. And like,
That's awesome.
I know that this must be the first time seeing snow, and this must seem like a lot of snow to them, but it's like, it just felt so cute to like someone up here in the north. So,
Should've
They
just,
merely
like,
adopted the
taken
snow.
all of
We were
that
born
snow
in it.
and like
embraced it, molded by it.
snowball right in the face. This is what living up north feels like.
And then after that, grab them by the back of the shirt and shove some down their back.
Oh, that's
And then
always fun.
shove them into, like, the tiny snowbank and have them hit their head, I guess, on the pole. Never mind, don't do that.
Well,
You're
that,
getting a little aggressive here. This is
Apparently.
that
Ninth grade all over again.
That simulates them falling down because of the 3 inches of ice that has accumulated on the sidewalk.
And the 50-mile-an-hour winds. Those don't help. Good wind noise.
Thank you. It
It's
is my goal.
exactly what it sounds like, Southern people.
I'm pretty sure they hear wind once in a while.
Bullshit.
No. Not cold wind.
Oklahoma, where the wind does something across the
the
plain.
wind goes sweeping down
What?
the plains.
I forgot the rest of the song.
Oklahoma, the wind goes sweeping down the plains.
I hate
I'm
Oklahoma.
freaking expert on Oklahoma over here.
Oh,
Actually, I only know this because on, what was it, my junior year of high school, that was the,
You went to Oklahoma?
no, that
Oh.
was the, school musical.
I'm sorry.
Well, Oklahoma? The whole state was a musical?
Yes.
All right.
my high school, I was a part of drama for my high school, and my mom's high school actually did, there's a couple of play adaptations of The Hobbit. And
Interesting.
Seriously?
Yeah, there are. And my mom actually designed the Smaug for her high school when they did it. And when I was in middle school, I heard about this and saw like her design for it, and I'm like, that would be so cool to like get a part in like the Hobbit play. And I knew that the high school I was going to did a lot of like plays. And my brain, my idealist brain, I began thinking like, you know what? Well, also not quite idealist because I'm like, okay, I'm a girl. I'm not going to get any parts. There's no way I'm going to
You
get...
could be Bilbo Baggins.
I thinking about it now, yeah. I was short enough that I probably could have pulled off Bilbo Baggins.
Nah, you should have been one of the dwarves.
Yeah. But, like, my brain was thinking, there are no female characters in The Hobbit. There's no way I'm getting a part unless I could somehow convince them that I was a good enough Smaug. And, like, I could have the... And, you know, if they could do, like, a voice modulator if I spoke into a microphone. So, like, so in 8th grade, to prepare for this part that never happened, we never did The Hobbit in high school, I went and I memorized a portion of the Hobbit text.
Perfect.
In order, like, Smaug's, like, boast about, like, you know, I kill things and I'm great. And so...
I say that frequently.
You do, Chris. The greatest of calamities. And so I ended up just memorizing this whole thing, and I would recite it to myself in the shower while brushing my teeth.
Wow.
To the point where I'm like, I am going to nail this role if it ever gets put out.
If it ever gets put out.
And then, you know, Benedict Cumberbatch went and stole it from me. But
Yeah, that jerk. Hate that guy.
Yeah, but I still have that passage memorized, like, to this day.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Travis, you were freaking out a few seconds ago. What, you were like
She said
throwing your hands in the air.
conference, and there might be something big happening in my future for
All right.
conferences.
You want to talk about it?
Not until I figure out more about it, because it just might just be absolutely nothing. So.
All right.
He is
Going to a
secretive.
He's going to a furry convention.
What's that?
Oh, that's kind of
We did talk about
No,
we
no.
talked about this
talked
on
about
one of the.
Yeah.
I might have cut that bit out. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you guys hear about the attack on the convention?
yeah. That's
that
why I was like,
I've heard about that,
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Did I just accidentally make an insensitive joke?
Oh,
Nah.
ever so slightly.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Did you want to do it intentionally?
Yeah, in the past year, someone actually, like...
Past year, I thought it was like 2 months ago.
Like, well, last
That's within the
2014.
past year.
2014. Yeah, it was really recent, and
Wait, what happened?
someone ended up essentially gassing a furry convention. Like, in order to...
Gassing.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
Like
as in...
mustard gas?
Like, not directly mustard gas, but definitely some very volatile compound, and people had to be, like, shipped out. And, like, you know, furries, they dress up in, like, you know, you've seen people dress up as mascots. That is heavy gear. Like, it's hard to breathe in that stuff. And now they're breathing in toxic fumes. There were a number of people that had to go to the hospital. I don't think there were any casualties.
I thought you guys were talking about the thing that happened at one of the conventions where somebody like drove a van over a bunch of people. That's what I thought you were referring to.
That happened?
That was something
Yeah.
that Chris brought up.
Yeah,
And
was that
podcasts.
Comic-Con?
Several
past
podcasts.
San Diego Comic-Con, there were a bunch of cosplayers walking across, like, a
Oh, no.
crosswalk, and a van pulled up, and he stopped for the cosplayers, and they, like, went to pose for a picture or something, and he was just like, screw it, and, like, plowed over them.
Oh my
Oh, gosh.
And nobody died, and the guy was arrested.
Well, good. Oh my god.
But yeah, that happened.
So,
I am sorry, yeah.
backing up a couple topics to
Okay.
Louisiana.
All right. Good topic.
Just
Pretty boring topic, actually.
Well,
But keep going.
Continue,
you know.
Mike.
Does it have to do with crawdads?
No, but
Crawdaunt is not my favorite Pokemon. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
mine is Gardevoir.
I'm a carnivore. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Continue.
What? apparently, Abby
Abby
is
is
a
like
Gardevoir.
losing her mind right before our eyes.
Abby is a Gardevoir.
I like meat.
Apparently.
I eat a lot of meat.
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
They mentioned that as very...
But what does eating meat have to do with it?
Carnivores eat meat!
Yeah, but Gardevoir is not a carnivore, I don't think. She might be, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I'll look up the
Are you
Pokedex
thinking of
entries.
are you thinking of the same Pokemon?
The thing is, I don't know Pokemon. I know Pikachu, and that's it.
Okay, Gardevoir is like this thing in this beautiful dress. It's beautiful
It
to
also
look at.
has like a
Are
wedge
you saying
sticking
carnivores
out.
aren't beautiful? Velociraptors are gorgeous, I can tell
Also,
you that.
Gardevoir can totally be a male, so that's
Gardevoir
something.
can be a male.
That was only recent, though.
No, they've been
That
males
could always be
in
male. It
January.
was they made Gallade
Yeah.
that only males can evolve into.
I was
But it's a
making a
different
horrible pun.
evolution.
I thought there was like a Pokemon named Carnivore.
No,
Be a terrible name.
Gardevoir.
That's why I was like,
You do not want to be a Gardevoir.
Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind being a
I'm
Gardevoir.
sorry.
It'd be pretty.
Continue your Louisiana
The
tale, Mike.
internet would
I've
be
been.
the worst place for you, though.
Well, why would I need to put up with the internet? I can just psychic link with people.
Do you really want to psychic link with people?
Well,
After
not
some-
you.
Would anyone at this table really, after the stuff that's come out of our mouths?
I wouldn't care.
I like my
Clowns.
brain. I like me.
What?
And that's what's important.
Don't touch me.
What's your Louisiana tale?
Okay,
I have
so
a tail.
You're a furry, aren't you?
after like sophomore year in high school, over the summer, there was the National Youth Gathering down in for the ELCA, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America, was having its National Youth Gathering in New Orleans. So,
Good city.
So
It's not,
our
it sucks.
church.
This is Mardi Gras.
Not enough
But that's
crabs.
social for you, so.
So,
No, I would
so-
never go there during Mardi Gras.
So our church was taking part in that. So I went down to Louisiana, and on every single day that we were down there, it rained.
Yeah, pretty
Like-
accurate.
Story.
Like and it wasn't like drizzling; it was downpours. Like it was belching out of the grates on the side of the road. Like you could tell when the waves were coming in because it would just go. So on the day when we were going to be doing our service project, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be spending so much time outside doing a service project. I'm just going to wear my swimsuit, seeing as I'm going to be drenched anyway.
Did it
That
stop?
was the day it didn't rain.
Of course.
And the thing was, this was like day 5 or like day 4 or something. So there were 3 days before us of people doing service projects. So by the time we got there, they were running out of stuff for us to do. So we ended up just sitting there on these bleachers next to a softball field in the middle of some neighborhood. And like
My favorite neighborhood.
Some neighborhood. Right next to Mr. Rogers. It's a little shadier, though.
and the thing was, the neighborhood kids were so excited that there were all these people here to play with. And like there was this one that just ran up to me and he was like, and he was hanging around by the rest of the group because like, hey, people to have fun with. And like when we were just sitting there on those bleachers with nothing to do, he just wandered up to me and said, "Hey, is that a swimsuit?"
Okay. Weird
Yeah?
question, but
No,
sure.
I am in my underwear.
He's just like, "Is that a swimsuit?" Yeah. Let's go swimming. And he grabbed my arm and started to drag me towards the neighborhood pool that was like 100 yards away. And I just looked at like one of the
Like, supervisor.
yeah, like one of the
people.
supervisor people with this look of panic, and she was just like, whatever, just.
You should have just started like yelling "stranger danger."
No,
Help! I'm being kidnapped.
No, she was just like, it'll be fine. Just go.
Because a kid was napping him.
And so like I was just like, okay, just hold on a second, and I started to like take out my phone and stuff to make sure that it wouldn't get all drenched and set it on the bleachers, and then I took off my shirt, and to make sure that I would go with him, he grabbed my shirt and bolted.
Man,
So
did he actually go to the pool, or
Yes,
did he just steal your shirt?
No, he charged towards the pool, and like the youth pastor was walking back towards the rest of the group because he had stepped on a rusty nail earlier. So
Oh,
like
God.
he had walked off to
Get a tetanus shot, I hope.
yeah to like make sure
That he wasn't going to die.
he was checking to make sure that all his shots were up to date. Which he wasn't actually, sir, so he eventually went to a hospital later anyway.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But he was just walking back, and his first image of the group was me chasing after this little kid who had my shirt. I then
that
spent the next.
pastor never trusted you again.
I then spent the next half an hour having chicken fights in this pool with these little kids.
Oh, nice.
So,
Man.
What part of New Orleans was that?
Some neighborhood.
Not very descriptive.
A residential section.
Yeah. The first weekend I was down in New Orleans, my mom and I went down to. What am I saying? The first weekend I was down in Louisiana, my mom and I went down to New Orleans. With the whole purpose of that was because we were going to the Saints and Falcons game that was taking place that weekend. But we went
I hate that division of football right now. Like,
it sucks so much. I mean,
Yeah, I hate it too.
Panthers lost, so it's fine.
Go sports.
Packers.
But we went on the.
Another reason you need to get off the cast.
What? I'm sorry, these Lions fans.
Well,
I'm a Seahawks fan, but
I'm not a fan of Rodgers and his gang. Oh, I mean the Packers. I'm sorry. That's their name, really.
I just want you to know that though I personally won't do it, there is a decent chance that you might get driven out of town with torches and pitchforks.
For what?
for like just bashing the Packers.
Oh, I'll do it all day.
there are enough Lions fans.
Oh,
up
there's
here.
Yeah.
you're
No.
I
I mean in my town.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm from
wow.
Wisconsin.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
I don't
boy,
understand
this
how
is
anybody
awkward.
can like a team that has Matt Stafford on it, but
because he's so good. Remember that time
That he made a pass?
he scrambled?
no, I don't.
Okay, wait, no. He scrambled on third down, but he slid before the first down marker, so he didn't get it. He's such a good quarterback.
He's quick, too, on his feet.
People keep telling me, "Oh, the Lions are good because Matt Stafford is good." And it's like, no, the Lions are good because Calvin Johnson is amazing.
No, that's not even true anymore. The reason Lions are good is because their defense is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Point
true.
is, it has nothing to do with Matt Stafford.
Oh, we're completely aware. We've been aware of that for 6 years, going on 7.
Oh, there are some people though.
Well, hopefully.
So yeah, we were down in New Orleans for the weekend, and it was
They
pretty
live
sweet.
in some neighborhood.
We went down to the French Quarter, and I'm impressed that that city has an entire street dedicated to gentlemen's clubs and alcohol.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street,
You
yeah.
didn't expect that.
No, I knew that, but it's
That's
just like
awesome.
you
I
know,
know that
it's
when you
still
go
impressive.
to the French Quarter, you just imagine it to be dedicated to white flags.
Did you know that they pressure wash the streets every night because of all the vomits?
Yeah, it's pretty gross in there.
I was not aware
I
of
didn't
that.
It's
need to
not a
know
nice
that.
place.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it didn't even sound like a place that I would go in the first place, but now it's.
Probably
You'll
not.
Well,
find
it's even
more
Do you not
high-
enjoy getting drunk and watching attractive women?
The good
No.
the surrounding area around the French Quarter is pretty nice, though.
Yeah.
At one point,
You mean it doesn't smell like vomit?
no, not.
They don't have to pressure wash them.
Not most of it. Heck if I know.
I
And
was about to
there's
say pressure wash the furniture, but you said a bunch of gentlemen's clubs. Let's be real.
Yeah, they have to pressure wash the furniture for something else.
at one point, my mom and I, there's like train cars that go throughout the whole city, so you don't have to like take cabs and stuff. And
You can totally film a musical off those back of those. You know, they're all, never mind. I'll keep going.
Because
What is
I
up
love
with
High
you
School
tonight?
Musical. Bet on
no,
it.
because when they're in the musicals, they hang off the streetcars like this and they
Yeah.
sing.
Whoa! I'm so sorry. Please continue.
So one of my other mom's coworkers recommended this restaurant to go to.
Was it a racist restaurant?
I don't know. I'll get to it.
Cafe
So
Dumont.
so we like it was like 10 miles away from our hotel or whatever, and we had our car like we didn't drive around the city. We just walked because we had our car like parked some parking garage or whatever. So we had to take like a train car out to this like suburban area, and it was really sketchy because it started to get dark as we were walking towards this restaurant, and it was pretty bad. And then
You were mugged by a crawdad?
I was worried about it. So we finally find this restaurant, and we get in there, and we realize it's an oyster bar, so it's like a seafood restaurant that specializes in oysters and stuff.
Oh, that's perfect for you.
And both of us are like, we really do not like oysters.
But you need that oyster shucking practice.
No, we don't. So we ended up leaving and finding this like Mexican restaurant and ate there instead.
That was a great story.
That was a fantastic
No,
story.
it's like-
Thank you for sharing with us.
It seriously took us like an hour to get there, and then we just decided to not.
That's why you should have practiced shucking oysters.
No, oysters are gross though. Why would I want that?
You could never.
It's like phlegm, dude. Really?
You can never go wrong with. You don't need to eat the oyster after you shuck it.
That's wasting food. You know, there's people in Asia
You
who
can
are
shuck
starving.
it for people in Asia.
Wait, so you're saying that
You can
the
do
solution
whatever
to
the shuck you want.
So you're saying that the solution to people starving in Asia is to gorge ourselves in America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least we're not.
Do you have a better
wasting
idea?
Food.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. There, is in terms of food, like icking people out. I am full of weird words today.
Clowns.
And segues.
Clowns, yeah. My brothers and my parents and I, we love shrimp. Like, we love shrimp. Shrimp is really good. My two sister-in-laws cannot stand shrimp. They do not like shrimp.
Well, just
At
kick them
all.
out of the family.
No, that just means more shrimp for us at family gatherings. Come on. And so my dad really likes to tease them about it, and like every time, like, you know, well, he hasn't done it recently, but he used to kind of every time we had like, you know, shrimp as an option for dinner, and he would always kind of glance at like, you know, my two sister-in-laws and kind of do this weird thing with his hands where he'd like stick his hands up against like his chest and pretend that he was like a, you know, a flailing shrimp or something.
That's not weird at all.
No.
I do that on a regular basis.
It's not. So my dad
I
so my dad would like tease them about this, and it got to one point where years later my dad and I were talking about food, and he ended up saying like, yeah, so I went to like, you know, the sushi thing, and the sushi was really good, except they wanted me to try eel, and just I am like,
Unagi?
like yeah, and so I'm just like, oh, why, you know, did you try it? Because I've had eel before, and it's really good. And he's like, yeah, I just the thought of it though just kind of icked, like it just didn't. The thought of it kind of made me feel weird about eating that. So I looked at him and I did the shrimp motion. And I think that's when he stopped doing the shrimp motion to our sister-in-law.
Speaking of eels, like, I discovered a couple days ago that, like, there's, like, this website, it's like being slapped by an eel.com
Okay.
or whatever, and all it is, it's this picture of this dude, and as you move your cursor to the right, a hand holding an eel comes across, and in motion with your cursor, slaps him across the face with this eel, and it goes backwards if you move your cursor to the left.
That's pretty awesome.
Hey, directions are hard, okay?
Don't
judge.
dude.
Wait a minute. You're right.
Yeah, I tried to tell you, but you kept talking over me.
Well, I'm sorry.
Because you're just telling your story. Stop!
I mean, I can make an L with my right hand, too. So,
You know what that means? Double loser.
well, it was pointed
DL.
at you, so, I mean...
No, that was a gun, and it was clearly pointed at me.
Yeah, whoa. Let's not be
Yeah.
offensive or anything.
Yeah, like
Put the
seriously.
money in the bag.
I mean,
For crying out loud,
that's
this is
just
a
mugging.
podcast. You threatened to knife someone or nothing.
Yeah.
Put the money in the bag.
Gotta be real.
So, Andrew was terribly offensive to me over winter break, and I had to prove him wrong.
I'm glad that he was terribly offensive towards you.
So, I had a conundrum because
You found
my
out
significant
that,
other was going to get me a video game of my choice when we were at Target for Christmas. And I was looking, I was like, do I get Dragon Age Inquisition? Because that's all that Andrew's been talking about. But this Metro game, that looks pretty cool. I've heard a lot about it. And so I texted Andrew. I was like, hey, should I get Dragon Age Inquisition or should I get Metro? And he's like, well, since you're a pansy and you're scared of Dead Space, you shouldn't get Metro, so just go get Dragon Age Inquisition. So naturally, I go and pick both.
Obviously, that's the only real choice.
She bought one, I bought one. And
Which one did she buy?
She bought Dragon Age because it was more expensive.
Oh, wow.
I'm a gentleman.
Good job.
And so, you know, I got home on Saturday, and so Sunday, over Saturday night, I had my computer my Xbox download Metro. And so Sunday night is like the first time I have a chance because I had orientation I was leading here, so I could play the game in the evening. And just once again, for context, I live in the middle of the woods by myself in this really old house. Well, it's not really old, but it's just really dark and lonely.
Well, you got Coda.
I got Coda, but he snores, and that's the only comfort I get from him. So I am playing this terrifying game with surround sound in the dark in the middle of the woods by myself. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the nightmares, Andrew. You could have just said Dragon Age Inquisition.
I told you it was scarier than
You
Dead
did not
Space.
have to say anything about it. You didn't have to challenge me.
It wasn't a challenge.
It was a fantastic game.
I was trying to inform you,
No,
so
you
you
were
would be more
invoking me to play it.
educated about your decision.
But you called him a
Provoke,
pansy.
not in-
I did not actually call him Pansy. That was exaggerated.
I would never exaggerate.
No, never.
Never. But so it's a great game, but oh my gosh, don't play it at night by yourself.
In the middle of the woods
Yeah.
with only a snoring dog.
have you gotten through 2033 yet?
Oh, I've gone through both.
Okay. So
I blazed.
in 2033, how did you feel about the library?
Oh my gosh, that was so hard. And then I went and looked
hard,
online
and it's
afterward.
horrifying.
Oh yeah, as you're creeping around them.
The librarians are the single scariest monster
This
I've ever
game is
encountered.
probably one of the best games
Yeah,
when
we
it
are.
comes to immersion to the setting. Like, it's so good about you are just in terror the whole time because everything's attacking you. Like, sure, in Half-Life, everything's attacking you. Like, everything wants to kill Gordon Freeman. But in this game, it's so good. Like, just the sound of everything around you. Like, you hear doors creaking and everything. It's so good at you just scared to go around every little corner. Plus, you just never have enough ammo.
Yeah.
So,
And it also helps that, at least when you're on the surface, the environment is trying to kill you,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So,
you have to be constantly scrounging around for air filters for your mask. Otherwise, if you run out, you suffocate and die.
yeah.
That is what happens when you run out of air.
Well, yeah, but
Well, no, because it's like nuclear winter
it's
Russia.
post-apocalyptic
So it's
nuclear
all
winter.
Yeah.
radiation crap.
Yeah, it's like
Well, if it's all irradiated, then the gas mask isn't.
it's 60 years after
okay.
the 30 years after the bombing happened. And so, like, the whole surface, and takes place in Russia, the whole surface is just, like, cars just rotting everywhere, and it's just junk. It's literally what you'd think if you were thinking of, like, post-apocalyptic.
It's like all the people who survived are the people who happened to be in the metro tunnels at the time.
And then everybody who isn't and everything else that wasn't up there were either destroyed or they've turned into mutants over time.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying.
So
Scary game.
I'm curious about these librarian thingies.
So, like...
Brutes. Think of brutes.
Yeah,
but
but-
scarier.
But on top of that, like Weeping Angels from
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
There-
Oh,
it's,
Weeping Angel is
it's similar to that where as long as you're making direct eye contact with them, then they won't attack you. They'll still move, unlike the Weeping Angels, but they won't attack you as long as you don't turn your back on them.
What
So
happens if you have them coming at you from multiple directions?
You're screwed.
There's... I don't think you ever have two at a time. I think there's only ever one. There might have been one instance where there was two, but
Well,
for the most
I'll
part, it's
tell
only
you
one
all
in each
about it
game.
afterwards because I had to look it up later on. I had looked up all this information on it, and let me fill you in real quick. I'm
Okay.
having an important text message-ish. So keep going.
Man,
Keep talking
Travis,
real
the
quick.
guy who never uses his phone on the podcast.
This is to my parents about graduation. They're making me panic.
They can wait. We're almost done with the podcast anyway.
It's true.
What else? Yeah, so as long as you're looking at them, you're fine. But they will literally come right up into your face.
See, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just wasted all of my ammo, including the military rounds and all everything, just wasting these guys at one after another because they chase you everywhere. I'm playing hardcore mode, and so
Why would you do that?
No,
because
the
it
military
says for
rounds are
skilled
also your money.
players.
What?
The military rounds are also your money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he is burning his money to kill these things.
Why would you play on hardcore mode if
Because
you...
Andrew called him a pansy.
Apparently, I challenged him.
I've never died so many times in the game. Literally died so many
Yeah.
times.
Is that because you usually play on easy mode?
No, this game is hard.
No, that's me. I usually play
It's a
this.
hard game, but it's so good. And you're right. I did not learn anything about I did not know if you stared at them. It's actually pretty cool because it's actually close to real primatology type stuff. Where if you just stare at them, they'll come up to you. They might challenge you, but if you just keep staring them and don't crouch or anything like that, they'll walk away. I never knew that.
No,
Really?
they won't walk away though. They'll just stay in your face and follow you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but I actually didn't know that. I thought that making eye contact, especially with like I'm probably using the wrong term, but like the alpha gorilla in a group, that's calling for.
Well, yeah, it is. But I mean, they're using that type of science in it, which is pretty cool. It's all based off a book, and it's a really good science fiction book, I guess. I really want to hear it now.
Which book?
Metro 2033.
Okay.
It's supposedly really good.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
But then there's those demons.
Yeah.
Those demons.
Those demons.
Those were hard. I thought I could kill one.
Good luck.
Yeah, you can't. They're gargoyles, basically. Like, literally.
And they fly around and just torment you the entire time you're on the
It's
surface.
such a scary game.
Okay, the thing is I cannot handle scary games.
I can't either.
I can't play them. But
I told you.
But
I told you not to play it.
It was so good.
And I can't handle horror. I don't like horror. But at the same time, I'm fascinated by the creatures that people create for like horror films and horror games.
Yeah, I love
creative.
horror creatures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love that, like, meat moss. Like, you know in Amnesia, like, that's, like, the meat that kind of just shows up on the walls over time?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I hear it's pretty delicious and nutritious.
It nearly killed me just by standing on it.
Well, yes, that's why you don't stand on it. That's why you run on it.
Yeah.
That's why you eat it.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
All right, so if nobody has anything else, we should...
We'll talk about the beta next week.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I got a story in.
Nice job. So, let's see. What have we got? Check out our website. We have a Twitter. We're on iTunes now if you're listening to this on YouTube.
We need
We
to
are.
write
Listen
down-
to the podcast, Abby.
Sorry, okay, I'm sorry.
You had 3 weeks of nothing to do.
We need to write on the chalkboard.
No.
What episode number is this?
25.
All right, M725.
Okay.
So stick tuned next week for a new episode, and we will not talk to the viewers because we don't do that.
Because
I was gonna say talk to you later, but like we don't.
I mean, if they left comments, we might.
Yeah, that's true. Leave more
Oh,
comments.
that is something I want to talk about, but we'll talk about it next time.
All right, sounds good. That's like the cliffhanger for the episode.
Dun dun.
I'm not going to remember, so please remind me.
Comments.
What about him?
I'll remind you.
No, you
worry.
won't.
No, I won't.
Okay, just say it right now.
You might
Sure.
as well just
Why
say it
not?
right now.
I don't care.
So, I'm sure you guys are aware, because this happened like September, but PewDiePie, who holds the most subscribers, disabled all his comments.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys feel about that?
I don't know because I really don't watch a whole lot of
What?
I don't watch PewDiePie either. I
I
can't
think
stand him.
just like the concept of
No.
disabling comments in general. Like,
Well,
what are your
like,
thoughts on that?
He
I
calls
don't-
everybody bros. I couldn't stand it. That's the only video I watched
I
with him
don't
explaining why he did it.
know. I don't know much about his content. Like, I can understand.
Are you familiar with Markiplier?
Yeah.
It's like Markiplier, but PewDiePie is awful.
Like, I
Wow.
guess. I mean, obviously, you'd want feedback, so you'd want to be better.
But he's like
But-
everybody's self-advertising and just putting
Yeah.
everybody down. And I think
Like,
he
I think
underlines
it-
self-advertising. So
It's more of a big deal if you're like, if your YouTube channel is more focused on like politics or philosophy, because turning off your comments is being like, I don't even want to talk about or debate the subject that I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Or it can just be self-defense because I know sometimes on controversial topics, if someone like leaves the comments thread open, it's not beneficial discussion. I've gone on a couple of like those
Flame wars are fun.
flame wars, but also threats are delivered to the creator of the video, and there's like.
But
Yeah.
if you're putting yourself out on the internet
and making $4 million a year for it.
you're broadcasting a controversial opinion, you have to realize that there are going to be trolls and assholes.
Yes, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you are obligated to have your feed and your life consistently spread with people telling you to go kill yourself.
You're not
But he's
obligated
a Let's Player,
to...
so he's not a philosopher.
Yeah.
Yeah, which like it's the PewDiePie is different than the things I'm talking about. But yes,
That's what I
So-
know you guys.
Although, you know, if he sucks as much as you seem to
He
think
sucks.
he sucks, then maybe he does.
he doesn't
get
like his
death
viewers.
threats.
He's used it for $4 million a year.
I don't know. I don't know what I've never looked at the comments. I think it really depends on what the comments page are being used for, and is it applicable to what is going on in the video. And so I really don't know.
I think if you look at anybody's views, it was like over 1 million subscribers. It's pretty much the same on everybody's page.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty much not good.
yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube is not a great place to have any kind of
4chan creeps into that a little bit.
Yeah.
intelligent discussion.
There was one place that I actually saw that the comments off was actually very effective, and that was, are you guys familiar with the web series Marble Hornets?
No.
Okay, it was...
Yes.
Yeah, it was...
I don't watch it. I know of it.
Yeah, it was when the...
Slenderman.
Yeah, it's when the Slenderman thing was just kicking off. It was one of the first kind of found footage style things.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good show. They finally finished it this last year. But the comments on those are disabled, aside from like one or two that I think they missed. But it kind of adds to like more, because the inability to interact and like read the comments below to be like, oh, this is a scary part, I'm gonna scroll down and read the comments to avoid getting the jump scares. I say I don't like horror, but I did like Marble Hornets. And so not having comments to scroll down to avoid the tension makes the experience that much more intense, I guess.
That much more better.
That much more better, yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So,
Well, stick to... Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. So yeah, I've seen it used effectively in one way and just completely removing the comments.
So stick tuned for next week.
No.
We'll have a new episode.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Break.
Kaboom. That's
Ow.
what you've got.
Do you have a better outro?
No.
Good.